I used to think that feeling older was just about stiff joints, a slower walk, or forgetting where I left my keys. But one morning, I realized it was something much deeper. It wasn't just my body that felt older, it was my spirit. I stopped looking forward to things. I stopped trying new things. I started saying no more often and yes. That, more than anything, made me feel old. Here's what no one told me: feeling younger isn't about turning back the clock. It's not about chasing youth or pretending to be who you were 20 years ago. It's about making a few small, intentional changes that shift how you experience life. After 60, every choice you make carries more meaning. Sometimes, the smallest changes can bring back that spark, that energy, that sense of joy you thought was gone. In this video, I'll share 8 simple things that truly made a difference for me, small steps that helped me feel more alive, more connected, and yes, even a little younger. Start your day with purpose, not a screen. There was a time when the first thing I did each morning was pick up my phone. Before my feet even touched the floor, I'd scroll through headlines, check emails, or read stories I didn't care about. And every day seemed to start the same way: overwhelmed, distracted, and somehow tired before breakfast. I thought I was staying informed or connected, but really, I was letting other people's noise fill my mind before I even said good morning to myself. One day, I paused. I looked at my phone and thought, why am I letting this tiny screen decide the tone of my day? That was the moment I knew I needed a change. Not a big one, just a small shift. Now, the first 15 minutes of my day belong to me. I sit by the window with tea, breathe deeply, and think about what I'm grateful for. Sometimes I water my plants, other days I write a line in my notebook about how I feel. It's quiet, it's simple, but it grounds me. That small change, just 15 minutes without a screen, has had a powerful effect on my day. I feel calmer, I respond more and react less. My thoughts feel like my own again. I'm not pulled in 10 different directions before the sun is up. If you've lived past 60, you know how you start your day matters. It sets your rhythm, your mood, your mindset. You don't need a perfect routine or an early alarm. You just need a moment that's yours, one that says, I matter. Tomorrow morning, leave your phone aside, look out the window, listen to the birds, stretch, say something kind to yourself. Begin with presence, not pressure. You'll be surprised how much lighter the day feels when you start it on your own terms. Move every day, even if it's just 10 minutes. There was a time when I spent most days sitting, reading, watching TV, napping. I told myself I'd earned the rest, but over time, I felt sluggish, my legs stiffened, my back ached, and I didn't feel like myself anymore. One afternoon, I walked to the mailbox and realized I was breathing heavier than usual. It hit me, if that short walk left me winded, what would happen if I had to climb stairs or run after my grandson? That moment was a wake-up call. I promised myself to move every day, no matter how little, not to get fit or look younger, but to feel alive. At first, it was just 5 minutes, a slow walk around the block, stretching while waiting for tea, a few light chair exercises. Nothing fancy, just enough to wake my body. After a couple of weeks, my energy returned. I slept better, felt stronger, and my mood lifted. Not because I joined a gym, but because I honored my body with movement. After 60, moving isn't about performance, it's about preservation. It keeps your joints fluid, your heart strong, and your mind clear. 10 minutes a day might not seem like much, but it's enough to change how you feel inside and out. Drink more water and less coffee. For years, I started my mornings with strong coffee, 2, sometimes 3 cups. I loved the routine, the taste, the warmth, but over time, I noticed something. I felt jittery, my heart raced, my skin was dry, and I wasn't sleeping well. No matter how much coffee I drank, I still felt tired. I never thought I might just be dehydrated. Then I read a simple line. Your body runs on water, not caffeine. That made me stop. I began drinking a glass of water before my first sip of coffee and added a few more glasses throughout the day, one mid-morning, one in the afternoon, one before bed. I didn't quit coffee, I just stopped relying on it. Slowly, things shifted. My mind felt clearer. My skin looked better. I felt more awake naturally. As we age, our sense of thirst dulls, So we often don't drink enough, but our need for water never fades. Every cell in your body depends on it. Keep a glass or bottle nearby. Drink one right when you wake up. Add lemon or cucumber if it helps. Staying hydrated boosts energy, mood, and clarity. It's one of the easiest, most powerful ways to feel more alive. And yes, even younger, speak kindly to yourself. For most of my life, I didn't think the way I spoke to myself mattered. I'd forget something and say, "You're so stupid." I'd move slower and joke, "You're useless." I thought it was harmless, but over time, those words shaped how I felt about myself. One day, I caught myself saying, "I'm just a burden now." The words came out of nowhere, and I felt a deep ache. I'd never speak that way to someone I love. So why to myself? That's when I realized how powerful our inner voice is, especially as we age. The world doesn't always treat older people kindly, but if we start believing those messages, they become truth in our hearts. So, I began to change how I spoke to myself. When I misplaced my keys, I said, "It happens to everyone." When I looked in the mirror, I said, "You have lived a full life, and it shows beautifully." It felt odd at first, but over time, I felt lighter. I smiled more. I stood taller. Kindness matters, especially the kind that comes from within. Your body may be slower, but your words can lift or weigh you down. Today, look in the mirror and say one kind thing to yourself. You are valuable. You're doing your best. I'm proud of you. You deserve your own kindness now. Wear clothes that make you feel good. For a while, I stopped caring about what I wore. Baggy shirts, old sweatpants, say whatever was easy. I told myself it didn't matter. But one day, I caught my reflection before heading out and saw someone who looked tired, not just physically, but tired of themselves. It wasn't about fashion. It was about what my clothes were saying. I don't care anymore. That wasn't the story I wanted to tell, so I picked a pressed shirt. Nice jeans, nothing fancy, just intentional. I looked in the mirror and saw someone who still cared. That small act changed how I carried myself. You don't need to dress up every day, but wear something that makes you feel like you matter, because you do. Clothes don't define your worth, but they can reflect it. When you get dressed tomorrow, ask, "Does this make me feel like me?" If not, choose something else. Learn something new each week. I used to think learning was for school or work, that once you're retired, you have learned all you need. But when I stopped learning, I stopped feeling alive. My days blended together. I miss being curious. Then one day, my grandson asked me to draw a horse. I laughed, but I tried. It wasn't good, but it was fun. For those 10 minutes, I was fully present again. Since then, I've made it a habit to learn something new each week. Nothing big, just little things. How to grow tomatoes. How to make French toast differently. A few Spanish words. Slowly, my mind woke up again. Your brain loves novelty. It doesn't have to be useful, just interesting. Try a new recipe. Learn a new word. Stay curious. Because when we stop learning, we start shrinking. But when we stay curious, we grow, not younger in years, but in spirit. Laugh more, even at silly things. There was a time when laughter felt far away. Life felt flat. Then one day, my daughter sent me a video of a baby laughing at a banana. I rolled my eyes, but I clicked play. Before I knew it, I was laughing out loud in my kitchen, and I felt lighter. Laughter is medicine. It doesn't erase life's heaviness, but it balances it. Watch an old comedy. Call a funny friend. Laugh at yourself when you can't find your glasses sitting on your head. Laughter doesn't mean you're ignoring the hard stuff. It means you're giving your spirit a moment to breathe. Spend time with people who make you feel alive. As we get older, our circles shrink. People move away. Some pass on. At first, the quiet feels peaceful, then it starts to feel like disappearing. I realized I wasn't lonely because I was alone, but because I wasn't around the right people. I reconnected with an old friend who was full of life. We laughed over burnt soup and silly stories. I left that lunch feeling light again. That's when I understood it's not about having many people, just the right ones. Spend time with those who lift you up. Say yes to connection. Be around people who see you as still growing, still becoming. And finally, stop believing your best days are behind you. There's a quiet voice that whispers that life's best moments have already happened. I believed that once. But one morning, watching the sunrise, I realized maybe my best days aren't gone, maybe they're just different now. They're quieter, gentler, deeper. The joy is still there, it just shows up differently. Treasure your past, but leave room for what's ahead, because your best days aren't behind you. They're in every small choice you make to stay open, curious, and alive.